You ever scroll on Instagram and see that 22-year-old chilling in Bali, sipping smoothies and bragging about their online business? And you think, damn, that's the life, isn't it? Well, fortunately, I was one of those guys a couple years ago. And here's the truth no one on social media tells you. That dream of owning your own business, becoming a digital nomad, and escaping the 9 to 5 grind that can quickly become a nightmare, unless you're crystal clear on your why you want it, and what freedom actually means to you, let's talk about freedom, the real kind. There's a quote I love from the Stoics: freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Yet, social media tricks us into believing freedom equals Lamborghinis, private jets, muscles, and $1 million business built overnight. And I'm calling bullshit. I've been there. I built businesses that actually hit 6 figures. I built 4 businesses, 2 of them hit 6 figures. I traveled to over 30 some countries now, traveled for 9 months at a time, did the whole thing. I tasted that nomadic life. And honestly, it wasn't what the influencers promised. It wasn't. And everybody's different. I'm not saying this is the truth. This is my truth. And I do believe this is a majority of people's truth. And that's why I'm coming out and sharing that. Behind this shiny curtain was anxiety, loneliness, and instability and stress that no one shared on this curated feed. Yes, some can do it. I just don't want to. I believe less than 10% of people can. I really do. And that's not a bad thing. I'm going to give a quick recap of my journey. You'll see in the tabs at the bottom, you'll see my story. If you don't want to hear my story, you've heard it in the past, whatever, skip through it, hop over to the next stuff. But I'm going to share just a quick recap of my personal story, my experience with all these businesses and just everything like that. But yeah, you can skip through it and get to the deep value and the lessons and stuff. So anyways, my story started 20 years old, struggled with mental health addiction, all that. Needed to restart, went to school for business, graduated international business, cool, got a sales job at 25. Did sales for about a year and a half. Hated the 9 to 5, hated the grind. Consuming a lot of social media, started business. Drop shipping was a big thing back there. This was about 2017-ish. Drop shipping was massive. Boom, boom, boom. You're seeing all this business, all these gurus, Lamborghinis, mansions. I was 25, so I was, young, dumb, and consuming a lot. I had zero wisdom. A lot of knowledge, no wisdom. So I acted a lot on what I was being programmed and what I was reading. And so quit the 9 to 5 while the sales job. I made 6 figures in this sales. But yeah, I made a lot of money in this sales job. I hated it though, because all the stuff I was consuming, I was programming myself like, oh, freedom, traveling the world, exploring everything, online business, all that. Quit everything, bought online courses, even graduating as a business degree. I still bought all these courses, which they're very important. We'll get to that. So now I'm 26, 27, quit my sales job, started a drop shipping business, did it for 3 to 6 months, built a website, learned how to do digital ads, paid advertising, Facebook, Instagram, all that shit. Failed. Spent $2,000 on average about building everything, just learning, courses included. Sold two items. I think that's a win. It was intense, it was hard, it was difficult, and it sucked, and I made no money, but I actually sold something online. It was incredible. Built a second dropshipping business, sold 3 things, but still lost about $1,000. So anyways, overall, dropshipping didn't align with me as a person. I'm not that kind of person. I can just sell China crap online and just not that's not me. Just didn't like it. So I went to the next business, phone cases, biodegradable, because I'm a big earth guy. So I was like, screw plastic. Let's get biodegradable. Decomposes in the ground when you plant it. Perfect. Solves a problem. Aligns with me. Ordered 2,000 phone cases, no drop shipping. Got it all here from Canada, but still got it from China. Sweet. Lasted about a year and a half. Coolio phone cases. And I sold over 50,000 phone cases. So the things I learned from drop shipping, all the ads and the marketing and all that stuff, like school theory, actually putting it to action, actually selling stuff. And I sold 50,000 phone cases. It was freaking cool. But now look at the bottom line. Look at the numbers. I was profiting after ads and shipping and everything, $1 to $2 a phone case. Phone cases were about $20, $25. I can't increase the price of those. Like, I just couldn't. So in the end, I made 50 grand over a year and a half. Okay, cool. Profit, didn't lose money. But what's going on, right? So the revenue was about 230,000, right? But expenses and all that kind of stuff. So cool. Proven system, potential, and I can scale it. But I'm not passionate about selling phone cases. I'm not that kind of entrepreneur where I can just sell items and products. Like I realize, and we'll get to that, I'm a different type of entrepreneur. I think there's two types of entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs that sell whatever and just love the grind, the business aspect of it. And entrepreneurs that just go from the heart and just want to make an impact. And I'm more that one. And then the third business, yoga business, did that with a partner. It was a good business. It was a yoga wear for men, focused on mental health. So I was really targeting mental health, something I struggled with, something I wanted to help people with. So trying to create a community around that. Again, after a couple months, I ended up selling my shares to my partner. There's a disconnect between me and the brand. We did a Kickstarter campaign. We succeeded. We reached our goal within 24 hours. It was like overnight success. It was a great launch. We sourced everything from Mexico because I was overproducing stuff in China. I wanted to produce closer to North America, so we sourced in Mexico. A lot of little wins like that. But again, you get deeper in wellness and health and stuff like that, and you realize, and like I'm big on the planet, that these clothes, microplastics, issue. It's in the end, doesn't matter how you package it and name it, greenwashing, fast fashion, right? It's not good for the environment. And it's also, yoga clothes is so bad for you, right? Like I'm wearing all cotton, but this clothes was so bad because microplastics goes into your skin, nanoplastics, so bad. It's like a hormone disruptor. Anyways. So sold my shares, went on to the next business. This was a digital agency. Because I was like, okay, I've worked on 3 businesses. I've scaled them all. Time to just be an agency now because I can help. And this is another hot trend on social media. So SMMA or whatever. So I joined that journey, build a business. But I had that business for about 4 years. So that was the reason when I just stopped. And I had over 20 some clients. I've had a few clients that we started from scratch and gotten to 7 figures. Again, I was the helping hand, right? As the marketing guy, the advertising guy, the paid media, just like consultant. It wasn't my own business, but the agency, the Digital Juice Box, was my agency. But the business I worked for, right? Obviously not my business, but I helped and I was involved. And I was like, wow, cool. But again, a lot of disconnect, right? So much disconnect. Just not aligning with the businesses that I'm helping. So then I was like, hey man, I gotta do something that I love, right? Mental health, mental well-being, and stuff about the mind, right? Like healing and suffering. I love that kind of stuff. Like I want to help people. And then the planet and veganism, like I love that shit. So it's like, I want to focus on that. So stopped the digital agency and now I'm focused on this. So anyways, that's my quick recap of my business experience. Now my travel experience during this journey, right? Agency and all that, I traveled. I traveled for 9 months in Asia, visited Indonesia and Thailand and all that stuff. Came back, married my wife, very grateful. That's a whole other video we can talk about. And then her and I decided to go travel again for 9 months. Like, let's try this digital nomad thing again. After 2 months, we stayed for 9 months in total, but after 2 months, we're like, this is not for us. We were planning on being there for 2 years, not doing it. And I have posts and stuff about that on my Instagram. I have reasons on why I left, and I have a deep opinion about it. But anyways, now you're all caught up on my business experience, my travel experience, on like, I've been through it. I've succeeded. I've traveled. I've done all that stuff that you should be doing on Instagram, that they claim that you should be doing, that I call BS on, and I don't think you should do any of it. I think you should try things and you should experience life to learn, but like, don't take it as gold. Don't take it as like, this is the only way to happiness, because it's far from it. Because now I've never been happier and I'm doing none of what you see on Instagram, none of what they say you should do. I'm doing none of it, and I'm happier than I've ever been trying to do any of it. So anyways, let's get into the video now. The people that stayed around, cool. I'm glad that you listened to the story that I threw at you, but now let's get into it. So do you really think Elon Musk, Logan Paul, Andrew Tate, Mr. Beast are deeply fulfilled human beings? Like, strip away their followers, fancy cars, and you're often left with insecure, toxic people chasing validation. You can just tell in their faces and in their actions, like the way that they perceive themselves, the way like their ego, like you can just tell. And some of them even have in their interviews where they're honest about it. We're like, hey, like my mental health is gone. It's not even there. And I don't even give a shit about my health. Like, it's very clear. And then like, it's just, I feel so bad for the young men and the young women. I know I name mostly men because those are the men that I see all over social media, how toxic it is. You don't really see too many toxic women, I guess, or I'm just not exposed to because I'm not a woman, so I can't speak on that. But the toxic masculinity is really hurting humans and males, especially the age of from all the way to 14 up to even the 20s, even 30s are still like kind of delusional around what's actually happening in that culture. Very, very toxic, very dangerous for even the women that have to deal with those men. Anyways, so here's a little secret from someone who's walked the path, because I've walked this path for the last 10 years. So I'm going to share some of my secrets. Sometimes true freedom is not quitting your 9 to 5. It's doing your job mindfully with clear intent while crafting your passion project on the side. Now let's get into that. Let's reverse engineer your life for a second. Imagine your life's end goal clearly. For me, it's opening an animal sanctuary. That's what I want to do. Very clear. It's been a couple years now. Every single step I take, every dollar I earn, every action aligns directly with that vision. My wife and I are both working towards that North Star, that direction. So everything we do is for that. That's our purpose. That's our heart. So we don't care about trends and reactiveness, businesses, and all these kind of things. Like, no, like we know what we want. We know how much money we need. We need to just reverse engineer it. So working 9 to 5, you're stoked. I'm stoked to go to work. Beyond stoked to go to work because it's like, cool, I'm working towards something. If you're working towards nothing, then the 9 to 5 gets long and exhausting and boring. But if you're working towards something, it actually becomes an enjoyable experience. Here's why a well-chosen 9 to 5 can be powerful. 1, peace of mind. Stability, health insurance, steady income, less anxiety, and more space for creativity. Number 2, clarity of purpose. You choose a job intentionally as a strategic piece in your life's bigger puzzle. Not because society labels you as success or cool. Who gives a shit what society thinks? Number 3, energy for passion. Instead of hustling 24/7, I've done it, 18-hour days, 7 days a week, just hustling, to keep a struggling business afloat, right? Like so much stress, it's intense. Like you're working so much and it's just barely afloat. You pour your heart into a purposeful passion project in your downtime without the financial desperation attached. Basically, it's a 99% guarantee. You can guarantee your passion. You can guarantee that sanctuary. You can guarantee whatever you want to build. For me, it's that sanctuary. I can 99% guarantee it because I can guarantee a paycheck. I can guarantee saving and I can guarantee investing. I've studied index funds. I've studied stocks. I've studied prime properties. I've studied all that, right? That's a guarantee. It's a guarantee over 10, 20, 30 years. A guarantee. It's a guaranteed paycheck. It's a 1% chance a business succeeds. Less now because there's more and more businesses. A less than 1% chance that your business succeeds that makes over 7 figures. And I need a lot of money to build a sanctuary. I need about $800 to $1 million. I can guarantee that over 20 years if I invest and save in checks. I can guarantee it. But with a business, it's a risk. So I'm starting a business because I'm trying to build a sanctuary. So I'm starting all these businesses with 20, 30 grand, 100 grand, right? But it's not a guarantee I even hit 7 figures. Not a guarantee. So less than 1%. So why would I take that 1% gamble? When I can just chill for 20 years, be mindful. What's the rush in life? Chill. I don't need $7 million. I don't need 10. I don't need all that money. I don't. I just want to help some animals. Very simple, very chill. And most of us, that's all. It's just chill. So anyways, I much rather 99% guarantee balance, happiness, and love, right? My relationship's thriving. My balance is key in life. Family is cool. Happiness is there. Love is there. And I'm not even selling my soul. My soul's not being sold. And I think that's so precious, so important for us to just harness our soul. So let me be blunt. Most entrepreneurs fail. They do. I failed 2 out of the 4 times. And the other 2 times, quote unquote, on social media, you can say succeeded. But to me, failed because I didn't like it. I wasn't happy. So how can you say you've succeeded at entrepreneur? Like all these kind of online gurus and all these people like you see they're pretending a facade, they're happy, they're succeeding millions of dollars, but like, are you happy? If you're not happy, to me, you didn't succeed. Absolutely not. You failed. Yet social media is injecting you with toxic dopamine hits, convincing you anyone can and should start a business tomorrow and will be a millionaire by next Tuesday. It's ego-fueled nonsense. The truth, success, happiness, and fulfillment comes slowly, steadily, built patiently over decades, not weeks. Of course, the 0.1% chance that it hits, sure. But why take that? Why? Why gamble? Why? Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Real freedom is built deliberately, methodically, and intentionally. There's a famous happiness study that shows optimal happiness happens somewhere between the 75K and 100K a year range. It's a really cool study. I highly recommend you read it. But beyond that, stress skyrockets, right? Higher roles, higher stress, more things. Joy plateaus, right? So after that, there's no more, like you can't, not more joy, you don't gain more joy. And mental health declines drastically. More stress, more pressure. More money often means more problems, not freedom. There's a rap, right? More money, more problems. I don't think it's a joke. I think it's real. It's not freedom. It's really not. Because and then you reach that level where like these Elon Musks and these like Amazon CEO guy, I make sure to forget these people's names. I don't really care. But like these Hollywoods and all this, like, that's not freedom? You can't walk outside. You can't do anything. Sure, you can build this massive bunker like Zuckerberg, but like Is that freedom? You're away from everybody. You can't do anything with anything or anybody. You can't go out. That's not freedom. To me anyways. Could be to you, but that's not me. Anyways, the Stoics understood this. So did Buddha. They knew owning less, chasing fewer desires, and mastering your internal world creates freedom no external circumstances can touch. So here's an actionable truth bomb for you today. Step 1, get brutally honest about your definition of freedom. What does freedom mean to you? Is it really owning a yacht and driving a sports car? Or is it waking up energized, peaceful, and working on something deeply meaningful to you? For me, for 8 years, I worked on the opposite. I thought I was working on freedom, but I was working on just building all this stress. And I tried so many different things I was being mindful about. Like I was testing, right? So I wasn't just doing one thing. Okay, I failed. Like, no, I did multiple things and I succeeded in multiple things, but it wasn't freedom. And then when I just recentered and just dialed it back and got brutally honest about what freedom is, like freedom to me is working a 9 to 5. Freedom is enjoying the matrix that was built, but in a mindful way where I'm in control, where I get my pays, I save it, I invest it. I help people still by doing these projects, by doing this YouTube channel. And in the meantime, I'm building a nonprofit. I'm building awareness for the planet and the animals. I'm building a nonprofit. I'm building a sanctuary where I can have and help and save animals. That's my freedom. It's not about how much money I have. Like before, it was like, I need $1 million, like, why do I want that $1 million? I don't need that $1 million. I need a sanctuary. So anyways, step 2, reverse engineer your entire life based on that definition. So that thing I showed you at the beginning, that video, that little Google sheet that I designed for Sarah and I've shared with some people. For me, it's building an animal sanctuary. I shared that every step aligns with it. It's excited to show up, even to a 9 to 5, because it gets me closer to that North Star. My wife used to hate her job, hated her journey in the matrix world, some call it, the 9 to 5. Now she loves it. She loves going to work because she's going with purpose. She's come back with purpose. Everything transformed for her. Mental health, everything gone. Stunning work. Anyways, step 3, put it in systems that make your vision clear, actionable, and practical. I shared you my system. That may work for you. That may not work for you. Design and find a system that works for you. So I've personally designed my own Notion system precisely for this. So to keep my mind clear, energy, focus, and vision sharp. Again, if you want that system, you can check out the link, right? Yes, it's not free. I've worked really hard on it, right? That's also my way. Like everything I sell, all the money I make goes towards my sanctuary. So like, I do need to make some money too, but it's a very reasonable price, a very low price. You've seen it, but you also saw it. I showed it to you in a way where you can build it yourself. So you don't need to buy mine, right? It'll take you a couple hours, couple weeks, whatever. And if you do want mine, right? If you do like it and it really aligns with your mindset, cool. It's online. You can check out the sales page. You can buy it. It's that simple, right? No pressure. Just if you're curious and you want to have a system that has worked for me, and I've developed it the last 10 years. I've worked and helped me travel the world. It's helped me build my businesses, and now it's helping me build my passion and my purpose. So it's a proven system. It's a blueprint that worked for me and that I've designed for the last 10 years. So links in the bio. Check that out if you want. Anyways, you don't have to burn yourself out chasing an illusion. Your best life might not be the laptop on the beach fantasy Instagram feeds you, because it's not for me, and it may be for you. And if it is, pursue it. And then if you notice it's not, then you just don't do it. That was my thing. And maybe it's working a meaningful job, making a comfortable salary, spending less than you earn, and using your surplus to quietly build something you generally care about. I use the word quietly. You don't need to tell everybody. You can just do it on your own. 10, 20 years. Next thing you know, 20 years, boom, you have it. I decided to build it loudly, not loudly in an ego way, but loudly in just a teaching way where it's like, hey, this is how I'm doing it. This is why I'm doing it, to help people, because the last 10 years I stressed out for no reason. And there's zero reason for me to stress because it's actually really chill and peaceful. Slow wealth is underrated. We need to focus more on slow wealth. That needs to be normalized. 9 to 5 needs to be normalized. All these entrepreneurs and business things, like, you're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling me because I've been through it. I've done it. I've seen people. I've had these conversations. 99% of the people you see on social media are struggling, right? They make it seem beautiful and like I work this, I do my whatever, I eat whenever, like all these the day in videos. They're not making money, man. And the 1% that are making money, cool. That's, yes, you do have a chance. You could do it. 100% you can do it. But like, why take that 1% chance? It's not a 50% chance. It's not a 90%. Like, it's a 1% chance. But hey, not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, don't be hard on yourself. That's the key thing. Do not be hard on yourself because others are doing it and you're not doing it as well, right? I didn't do it as well, but it's not really, it's not the money. It's just I wasn't happy. Anyways, maybe freedom is simpler, calmer, and happier than what social media sells it. I think it's a lot simpler than the way we make it seem. And maybe, just maybe, true freedom was inside your mindful, intentional, purpose-driven 9 to 5 all along, right? But because we've been sold out, like I was sold all this program that you need to do all these things. So I left my 9 to 5. I did all the business stuff, and then in the end, if I was more mindful, intentional, but I had to learn by doing it that it was there all along. It's inside of you all along. But anyways, don't take my word for it. Go out there, reflect, learn, experience, find out what your heart wants, not your mind. Your mind can be programmed. The heart cannot. If this is at home, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment. Let me know what your definition of true freedom is. And remember, the only journey worth taking is the one that aligns with your heart, not your Instagram feed, not your mind. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Follow the heart, follow the love, follow the soul. Chase that beautiful love and heart and have fun, experience, reflect. Anyways, with love. Ciao.